Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Cheeseheads podcast. This is episode 3. What we're going to have today is a lot of Mason screaming at the camera. We're going to be doing a full mock draft for the Packers. It'll be mainly Mason going, and then Chris and I will criticize all of that.
Yell at him, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, scream at him if he does something we don't like, which will probably start in the first round. So Mason, if you want, you can explain where you're doing the mock, what your process is going to be, what your strategy is going to be, and then we can get into it.
So for kind of like a reference thing for a site, we're doing our team 7-round mock drafts right now before free agency. We're about halfway done. Mike and I have done about half of them ourselves. So
That you have, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So the Packers were, of course, my team. Of course, all three of us, plus Dale and someone else, are all Packer fans. We have a lot of Packer fans that write for the site. But me being the draft guy, I messaged you both, said, is this okay if I do our 7-round mock? You both gave me the thumbs up. So
Full thumbs up.
this is also going to be the only live one for the site. So we will hopefully link this into the actual mock draft when it goes up. It's going to be the exact same picks. And so we're doing it on draftnetwork.com. There is one little thing I want to make a note here. There is one player missing, and that is Quinn Miners from Wisconsin Whitewater. That's pretty much the only player missing. Of course, I actually know Quinn. We were actually hoping to get an interview done before the draft. I followed him when he was at like 900 followers because I actually might be going to school in Whitewater next semester. I also have my draft day every day here from Draft Networks. We're kind of giving them a lot of sponsorship here. But before we get into it, I kind of want to go over my original plan here. For me, the needs of the Packers kind of not in any particular order, because there's obviously one big one that's going to be the first one I name here, but that's not in any particular order. I'm going to get your guys' opinions on this first before we go. So I have our needs currently, again, not in any order: linebacker, cornerback, right tackle, receiver, interior defensive lineman, and then depth at running back and safety.
Okay.
I think that's perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
And so before we get started, there is no trades in this mock. I will kind of explain where I would want to trade down in scenarios when that happens, but again, we can't do that. The Packers have an extra pick in the 4th round and then the 7th round, if I am getting that correct.
Yeah.
So if we're ready.
And they probably will be getting some comp picks too, would be my guess.
Including the comp picks in this draft, I think.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say this right now. I have ran this about 7 times today, and it's gotten to the point where I do like where our pick is at. So hopefully it goes the way I want it to. If not, I'm going to be kind of upset right off the bat.
I really hope it doesn't go the way it has the last 7.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Oh, there's got to be a couple curveballs.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah, I'll actually pause when we're up to pick and go through some picks that kind of make no sense to me anyway. So we're going to press start.
Yeah.
And then, so it'll pop up as there will be I have Draft Network Premium. You'll probably see a couple times where I'm going to guess the Patriots are going to offer us a trade or the Vikings to trade up, but we're going to press no each time.
Ooh, Devonta Smith dropped to 15?
15, wow.
That's interesting.
Here's the first trade offer, so I kind of want to get this a look pretty quick. A 1 and a 4 to move up 6 spots, I'd probably, depending on what the board is, I'd probably take that. But again, we can't do any trades here.
Najee Harris to the Jets. I like that.
Again,
I like that pick a lot.
a second. Oh, that we're probably going to offer them a 3rd or a 4th back in that scenario. Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, no.
And probably the same scenario here. Yeah, no. And so we're going to pause the draft, run through this real quick. Oh, not like that. So, of course, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. The first thing that stands of note here to me is Jamar Chase at 3 to Miami. I think in my 7-round mock, I actually gave them Penei Sewell, which I also gave to Cincinnati. In these cases, I try not to use the same players because it's kind of stupid to do that. I kind of want to have some variety. And Usually it's between Justin Fields, and now there's a lot of steam going for Kyle Pitts to Atlanta. And then in the same scenario, we have Justin Fields flying to Philadelphia.
I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they would do that. I think they're happy with Hurts.
Oh, yeah, for Philly. Okay.
Yeah. For Philly.
We talked about on last week's draft podcast how Kyle Trask, his offensive coordinator during his time at Florida, is now the quarterback's coach in Philadelphia. So that's kind of something of note that we talked about last week on the draft podcast. But getting ahead to next week's episode, we have our divisional roundup before free agency, where we're going to talk about the 3 other teams in the division, kind of see where they're at.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle to Detroit. I'm going to say it right now, Detroit is probably the hardest team to draft for right now because of the situation that they're in.
A lot of needs, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of needs. You could probably even kind of throw in quarterback there. And another note of quarterback, Trey Lance to Denver. I don't really know how to feel about. I don't know really how to feel about that, but my buddy Landon, who's a Broncos fan, does not like Drew Lock at all. He was not a fan of my decisions in our 7th-round mock. But Micah Parsons.
He should have seen my off-season preview then.
Oh yeah, Micah Parsons to New York to team up with Blake Martinez.
Mac Jones to the 49ers is interesting.
Last week I mentioned my best friend's girlfriend, Xana, who wanted Aaron Rodgers to be traded to San Francisco after this next year. She's not going to be a big fan of that pick.
No.
I regraded Mac Jones this last weekend. I originally had him as a mid-3rd, around the same range as Kyle Trask, but then I saw a lot more, so I gave him the early 2nd-round pick, which quarterback pushes them up the board, obviously. 2 tackles, Rashawn Slater and Samuel Cosmi. Minnesota needs offensive linemen, help very bad. Devontae Smith falling to New England. My buddy Jack would probably love that. J.C. Horn, I actually graded him. I have him as my number 2 corner right now, only slightly behind Patrick Surtain.
Love the player.
Yeah. I'm going to make a note right now. There is 3 positions that I'm worthy of taking in this 1st round for the Packers. There is one occasion that if a player falls to us, I'm taking him, and that player is Rashad Bateman, who went at 19 to Washington. I think he is perfect fit in our system compared to teaming up with Devonta Adams. Chicago does a Chicago pick, but I like it for them. I like it for them. My buddy Max, I was talking to him about this before, how I haven't mentioned him because he is a Chicago fan, but now he gets his wish. Trace Marshall as a 4th-round grade, and so he's getting he's getting a lot of hype to like Baltimore or Chicago because they're missing that big body player, and Chicago probably isn't bringing back Allen Robinson, so I mean he's a good fit there, but I don't really like the player. Tevin Jenkins, we've already had a visit with. He goes to Indianapolis, and that's a perfect fit with him next to Quentin Nelson. We've been talking about that a lot lately on Draft Twitter. 2 running backs go back-to-back with Najee Harris and Travis Etienne to the Jets and Steelers. And then Greg Newsome, who we've also had a visit with, I did my grade on him. I did my grade on him last night. I have him as an early 2nd-round pick. And then Kwity Paye and Elijah Vera Tucker and Jalen Phillips round out the draft before our pick.
I love Vera Tucker.
I have him as an
so versatile.
Yeah, you can play center, guard, tackle, whatever you want, kind of like a Rashawn Slater that went earlier in the draft. So for me, there's 3 positions I want to take a look at here, and I think you're probably all going to agree with me here. Tackle, corner, and linebacker.
Yep.
So we're going to look through tackle first.
You know who I want.
Yes, I do know who you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, these 3 players above him, I would take over him any given day. And that also includes a guy that I'm hoping to get around in the 3rd or 4th round. So he's kind of off my board at this point. And so if we go to linebacker, I'm going to all these players. I've actually not done my full tape study on Nick Bolton. I have done all 3 reports on Zaven Collins, Baron Browning, and my Jamin Davis one went up this morning, which actually got a lot of views from his brother and his girlfriend, which I didn't expect.
Nice.
So if we go down to corner, Newsome's off the board. We've already had a visit with him.
Oh, wow.
There. He went to Jacksonville at 26. So Eric Stokes is a grabby man corner. Same type of thing with Asante Samuel. I did my tape study on him last night. You're going to get a feel for me here. There was 3 players I want to do my in-depth reports on before this mock. And that was Newsome, Asante Samuel, and then Zayvon Collins. So I did Asante Samuel, and he got an early second round grade, just a slight touch over Greg Newsome. And so there's also a lot more corner depth down here. I do like Tyson Campbell. I do like Ifeatu Melifonwu. But for me, you guys probably aren't going to like this. I am taking Zayvon Collins here. Do you guys have any thoughts there?
Hell yeah.
I like the player a lot.
I love it.
So
explosive all over the field, great in coverage. I think he fills a need right away with, the depth the Packers have at linebacker now that drives Mason Thompson absolutely nuts.
Correct. So I
love it
today, and I watched 4 games in a highlight video, which you're not supposed to do. So the 4 games were my big things here. And in the first game alone, I had 3 Snapchat films where I just took the video and I sent it to a couple people just to be like, hey, we don't have a linebacker that can do this at all.
No.
And so in my original rankings, we are in the draft podcast, our first episode was our first round prospects. I had Zayvon Collins predicted at my 18th ranked prospect. So I have about 50 or so players fully graded now, which is not good considering we're in March and the draft is in about 50 days, but let's not talk about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
I want you guys to guess where Zayvon Collins ranks in my prospects rankings right now.
I think you just said he was 18.
That was in my pre-study.
Oh, that was in your pre.
Yes.
Top 8.
MJ?
Let's say 6.
MJ is close. He is number 5 right now. Ahead of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, ahead of Micah Parsons.
Wow.
As linebacker 1, which GOK isn't really a linebacker. He's more of a slot corner safety linebacker hybrid. But if there was 2 options here that we could have went, we could go take Zayvon Collins or we could take Asante Samuel Jr. So for me, I'm trying to blend in our visits and the guys that I like. So for me, it was between those 2 because we've already had a visit with them. But I like the idea because this update was this morning. If it was the original update as I was doing last night, I would have went Samuel and then Jamin Davis. But Davis got skyrocketed up the board. So he probably won't be there in the second round. And I'm hoping that one of Tyson Campbell or Melifonwu are there in the second round.
I would think Melifonwu.
The thing is with Melifonwu is I did the report on him too, and he's more of a zone corner.
Because Pettin's gone. We don't know exactly what Barry's going to do because Pettin let them choose to some extent.
And if I'm going to say this right now, if Pettin was still here, Asante Samuel might have been the pick because a lot of what Florida State ran was a lot of 5 to 7 off, yards off man zone, off man coverage. He was never in press, so that was kind of. I want to see what Joe Barry brings, but he needs a stud linebacker.
Yeah,
Mason, with Eric Stokes, I'm just curious, how impressed are you by his 40-yard time and his measurables? Because I know a lot of people are freaking out about him. I mean, he looks like a physical freak, and he has a lot of accomplishments too. Don't get me wrong, but
the height weight.
How do you weigh that?
But it's a 4.25, I think it was. But that's also saying the pro days things you kind of knock off 0.1 off their times usually.
Well, no, it was the same people who run the NFL Combine that were there.
Yeah. The thing is, though, does that really show up on tape?
Right.
You're in shorts and a T-shirt and you're not in full pads, all that. I like Stokes, but I would – it's are you wanting to take Stokes here and risk those linebackers falling, or are you wanting to take Collins and then have a Campbell or a Melifonwu there?
Okay. Makes sense.
So I'm going to run through the second round now. And then hopefully no trade offers that much. Nick Bolton goes. He's
that fit.
old school linebackers. There goes Browning, there goes Davis, there goes Stokes. So
Wow.
I think we made the right decision there.
Mayfield's gone.
Yeah. I do. Okay. I want to make a note here of something when we go through here. Another
Humphrey's
linebacker.
gone. Damn. Leatherwood dropped to
And,
52.
there goes
Wow.
Samuel.
Dickerson. Oh,
Grant.
Richie Grant.
The trade.
Okay, so all the linebackers are gone.
Yep.
So if you look here, the next linebacker is probably Chaz Surratt or Pete Warner. Yep. So I think we made the better decision there. I want to look through all, and then we're going to look through the whole entire second round again. Again, Nick Bowen was a good pick by Kansas City. Him paired with Willie Gay is probably a great young tandem at their linebacker core.
I love what the Jets have done in this.
Kadarius
Harris
Toney,
and Kadarius Toney.
Harris and Kadarius Toney.
and
Wow.
Zach Wilson. I
Wow.
like that a lot.
That's
Just-
quite the
Yeah.
that's quite the trio.
I do want to take a look at Aaron Robinson. I did our scouting report on him. I have him as an early second as well, but he is a pure slot guy.
Okay.
After watching, I watched Robinson, and then I watched another corner, which was Greg Newsome. Robinson's tackling is probably the best in the class at the corner position.
Wow.
I think I gave him a 9 for tackling. I gave Robinson like a 6 or a 7, which the report's not up yet, so that's kind of a spoiler. But
Brevin Jordan at 39. Wow. That may be the
Brevin
steal of the
Jordan,
draft so far for me.
and we have had a visit with him, so I mean,
Yeah.
I understand the point of since we have so many tight ends there, but
Yeah.
noteworthy there.
Well, he's not the kind of tight end we have though.
Yeah,
No.
Jalen Mayfield of Detroit, I like that fit. They would probably they made a horrible decision by signing Whiteside to that contract they did last year. That was horrible.
Yeah.
But Mayfield was fit right in there at right tackle next to Decker at left. Raduns, I have Raduns over Mayfield. So
Really?
if you want to take a tackle in round 1, I would rather go Raduns over Mayfield and switch him to right. Or you can play left. He's out the first couple weeks. Creed Humphrey's off the board. Jabril Cox
like him.
is kind of, I don't really like that fit.
What are your thoughts on Javonte Williams?
I love Javonte. I have him as
Seems
running
like
back.
a lot of people have him as a number 1 back in this class.
I have him running back too, just slightly behind ETN. Again, I have him as a first round prospect, but obviously he plays running back, so he'll be dropped down the board. But again, Arizona's kind of a sneaky running back team because of Drake's situation and with his contract and all that. Kelvin Joseph, after watching Davis, I saw what they wanted to have him, Joseph, as like a second round prospect, but there's still a lot to work with there. He's really raw.
Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
I like
53.
that. Rondale Moore and
I like
AJ
this.
Brown.
I like this page right here
That's
because
a duo.
that's all of our needs right there. Leatherwood to Chicago. Chicago just released Bobby Massey this morning. That was probably a good fill in there. Rondale Moore to Tennessee. Again, we've had a visit with Moore. Packers have. Rondale Moore would probably fit right in with they released Adam Humphries. So I like that fit. Asante Samuel Jr. to Indianapolis. Who did Indianapolis take in round 1? Tevin Jenkins. I love that draft for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I'm a Chris
Great
Ballard
draft.
guy. That's like such a Ballard draft right there. I did Samuel's report, which will be up tomorrow. Great man coverage corner, not really zone coverage guy. Good ball skills. A lot of sides like to bash on him for his ball skills, but I actually saw a lot there. Liam Eichenberg, I know Alex did his report on him yesterday. It's going to be go up in the next couple of days. He wants to take Eichenberg in the first round. They get him in the second here for Pittsburgh. I think he'd love that fit. I ran a simulator last night with when Dickerson was on the board for our pick.
Really?
So I actually never had that before, so I was kind of like, ooh, what happens if we actually do that? But in this case, he's not, so I'm kind of thankful for that. Dickerson is a first-round prospect without his injury concerns. He's had 3 season-ending.
Right.
Love that fit for the Rams. They need help on the interior line badly.
I don't really want to talk about much here else besides Dylan Moses to Buffalo. Moses took a free fall after this last year. So To Buffalo, that's a good fit because they're probably going to lose Matt Milano, but I know Joe Marino, who works for the Draft Network, loves Baron Browning there, even in the first round, which I'm not comfortable taking Baron Browning in the first round.
No.
So looking at
all.
the board here, there's not really a guy right here because safety, edge, interior defensive line, I don't want to take that early. I know Chris might want to take it right here. No?
It still seems like a reach.
Okay. Trey Smith is intriguing to me as a guard. And then we're not even going to think about Atwell here. We're not going to think about Atwell here.
No, but I'm looking at Eskridge and St. Brown and Amari Rodgers.
Okay, I want you to look at all these receivers in this range.
Okay, I know. I get it. There are a lot of them, and we can probably get one in the third round. But
yes,
I think you can wait on the receiver.
Yes.
Okay, but then who are we taking? Convince me.
Tackle. Let's look there.
Show the tackle depth.
Tackle. I want to wait.
Yeah, nothing jumps out at me there.
No player jumps out for me either.
I want to take one fourth round and hopefully. Remember what we talked about in round 1?
Yep, there we go.
Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell would be the pick for me too. Yeah.
His ball skills, from what Alex told me, is not great. I was going to do my tape study, but I got kind of busy before the podcast. I'll do that later tonight. I'm looking to get all my first round guys done so I can just be done with that and then get fully on to doing my scouting reports. Like I think the next one I'm going to do is Marquez Stevenson, which I know MJ's high on. So again, Tyson Campbell next to Jair is a perfect combo. You have that Kevin King type skill set of 6'2", 185. He's a good man corner. I think Alex
great man corner.
So I think that's a better fit than Melifano, who's a zone guy. I think Melifano's got some long speed concerns because I did the report on him. I had a mid to late second, I think. I know Alex had an early second on Campbell, so I like the fit there. Getting Collins and Campbell there, I think was better than taking Samuel and then whatever here.
Yeah.
I think in the right scheme and the right system, Campbell can be really good.
So I know we're going to kind of get upset here because the receivers are going to fly off the board.
Yep.
It's fine. I won't freak out too much. It's okay. Only a little bit.
Trey Smith, the Kansas City's perfect fit, by the way. That is a perfect.
I have, depending on, I don't know how TDN is going to roll this, but I do have a request for like 6th, 7th round once we get there.
Oh, I kind of yeah. The receivers.
I will.
There goes Amari Rodgers. There goes Melifano. God,
Brown.
I do not like that fit at all.
Kyle Trask to Chicago.
Trask to the Bears.
Oh boy, we're gonna talk about that later. Okay. Oh.
Eskridge. Oh my! You should have traded up.
No trades, guy.
Should have traded up.
No trades here.
Trade up 3 picks. Give them like a future 6th. They're fine.
Yeah, Mike would be really happy about that. So that's second round again. I like the Trey Smith of Kansas City. Perfect fit.
A lot.
Boogie Basham to the Jets. Jets need an edge rusher. He's one of my next guys to watch. Tutu Atwell to Philadelphia. They already have that type of skill set and rigor. I know Alex is high on Elijah Molden. He has actually a mid-first round grade on him, but he's a slot corner only. You can move him to safety. If you wanted to go interior of the defensive line, Marlon from USC is there. I kind of like him as that fit. Hudson and Carmen go for tackles. That's kind of not great for what I'm trying to do here. I don't think. Hopefully the guy I want stays here in the 4th round.
Melifano went that late. Wow.
Melifano to the Chargers is a good fit. I like that a lot. Amari Rodgers to the Giants. That's their Golden Tate replacement, and I like that a lot. Minnesota still keeping up, building their offensive line. They took Kosmi in round 1, Myers in round 3. I hate the fit of Amon-Ra St. Brown to Arizona. He is my 16th guy on my big board right now. He's wide receiver 5. I know there's a lot of is he similar to Equanimous? He's not. So St. Brown is a pure route runner. I know my comp, which I don't do a lot of comps usually, was to Keenan Allen. I know one guy from TDN comped him to Golden Tate. So if you want to take a receiver in round 2, it's between St. Brown and Eskridge to me. I have both as first round guys. I have St. Brown higher. Odigizua to Las Vegas is a good fit. I like that a lot. They need help on their defensive line. Michael Carter to Miami, I would rather take Javonte Williams for that fit. But we have to talk about Kyle Trask to Chicago because that
I
is
like
interesting spot.
third round, yeah, not first round like a lot of people wanted him to go to earlier this year. But I know there's a lot of people. I put a lot of trust into Marcus Whitman. He's a YouTuber that a lot of us guys watching the draft community. His comp for Kyle Trask is Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I see it.
You're in that same realm of quarterback right there. I know there's a lot of talk about Chicago maybe getting Watson or Wilson, but they're not a quarterback.
We all know that's not going to happen.
They're not a quarterback away. Tommy Tremble, he's a blocking tight end. I don't really like that. He's Richard Rodgers for Philadelphia.
Shout out former Packer.
Getting Cleveland for Eskridge to replace Rashard Higgins is insane. That's a perfect fit for them.
I like that a lot.
I hate this Vikings draft so much because Ardarius Washington is my guy. He's my second safety only by like 0.5 to the other TCU safety. So I also like Cameron McGrone there. I'm glad Cleveland didn't take Zaven Collins in round 1 because that's actually who I had them taking in my 7th-round mock.
Yeah.
So we look here. If you want a slot corner, Shaun Wade's there. We're not going to go that route. There's a lot of edge available. Spencer Brown is actually kind of intriguing to me there. Twyman as well. I
like Twyman.
I am looking at receiver finally here.
Des Fitzpatrick, my guy.
Okay.
Enemy Brown.
These first 3 here, I would go with any of them. But
Felton.
okay. I did a scouting report on Felton as a running back. He's listed as a receiver here because that's what he played in college. He was a receiver. He was a receiver in high school. He ran slot receiver at the Senior Bowl. If you guys want your teams white, Felton's the guy. I comped him to Naheem Hines from Indianapolis. But I have not had this yet. With Brown and Wallace on the board, I have them a lot higher.
I think I'd go Brown.
I'm going Brown. It is very close. I did this report on Tylan Wallace. I had him as a late 2nd round, and we're at late 3rd. But Diami Brown is the perfect fit next to Devonta Adams.
Big play, vertical receiver. 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons for North Carolina.
And North Carolina has a couple of receivers here. So again, here's the bio on him. If you want the full premium profile, go on TDN. I'm not going to really show this here. We should probably be showing our scouting reports, but I don't want to have that many tabs open for the guys I'm taking. I think we have a report on each guy that we're taking here. So those will all be linked in the report when it goes up to the site. So we're going to switch back to all the players here. The only thing I'm worrying about here is the defensive line depth and then the tackle depth.
I'll be honest. I would have taken Twyman.
I'm fine with the tackle depth here. I do not like. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Risking one of those 3 receivers falling is a lot worse, but I do not like the interior defensive line depth right here. It's just.
I mean, you can wait on Bobby Brown
or Marvin Wilson.
I've used Brown a lot, but I mean, if it gets there, then I'll take him. But my next pick is probably going to be a tackle. I'm just going to say that right now. If my finger can do the right thing here. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Gainwell to Buffalo is just. Tylan Wallace, of
course. Wallace to – oh, no.
Felton paired with Austin Eckler for the Chargers. That's,
oh, my gosh. Yeah. Shaun Wade. I like Wade and
Roshi.
San Fran.
Trill Williams we've had a visit with.
That Shaun Wade fit only really works if Sherman stays, though.
They need – half their corner – almost all their corners are gone. So
I like Ben Cleveland to the Cowboys.
We're going to run through that all again.
Marvin Wilson off the board. Kellen Mond to Washington.
Okay, come on.
And the Vikings took a QB too. Kenny Yeboah.
Okay. Hopefully the pick didn't go right before. Okay, I have my guy, but we're going to run through this again.
Oh, I like Cam Sample.
So where are we at here?
92.
Tylan Wallace to Tampa Bay is – I hate that.
Yeah.
They took Taylor Johnson last year. they have Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown being free agents, but just the receiver class is so good that Tampa Bay is going to get another receiver. We're all just going to groan because they have so much depth there. Felton, Hunter Long to New England is perfect. Boston College guy going to New England. My buddy Jack will love that, who also writes for us. Felton to the Chargers is, I don't like that because they already have Austin Eckler. They're pretty much the same player. Flyman to the Saints is, they got their, I don't know who their defensive tackle is. Sheldon Rankins, he's probably about gone like half their team because their salary cap woes. I do like St. Juice. He was in at the Senior Bowl. If there is a guy that I want to take in round 3, if we take a receiver in round 2, I'm taking St. Juice there in the 3rd round. Shaun Wade is a slot corner that might make the switch to safety in the NFL.
All of Shaun Wade in 1 year of college football is crazy.
Bad. I do like Quincy Roche. I have an early second on him, actually. That fit to the Rams is pretty good as well. Trill Williams to the Saints. They're taking a lot of the guys I like here. We've also had a visit with Trill Williams along with a bunch of other corners. I do like Mukuamu to Cleveland. I do love Cleveland's draft here. Tariq Thompson, Detroit's a good pick, even though he didn't get invited to any of their NFL's combines, which is insane. Another small school guy, David Moore, goes to Carolina. They need to fix their interior offensive line. Then Cleveland to Dallas, just depth. They need help anywhere on the offensive line right now. Minnesota taking another one of the guys that we've had a visit with, Aleem McNeil. The interior.
Like that pick.
I don't know what Minnesota's doing. I actually do like that pick. I don't like the Washington pick. I love the Minnesota pick. Davis Mills is a perfect Alex compared him to Ryan Tannehill. He's a perfect, just if you want a backup quarterback that can make an appearance and show out, there's your guy. Davis Mills is quarterback 6 to a lot of us in the draft community. So there's a lot of guys that don't know who he is, but he's going to get drafted pretty early, late 3rd, early 4th, around that range for a team that needs a quarterback competition type dealio. Deontay Smith, another small school guy to Tennessee. Tennessee's tackle situation is kind of a tricky situation right now with what happened with Isaiah Wilson this last year, which is awful if they waste a 1st round pick on that situation. I do not like Sage Surratt to Seattle. That's a waste. Again, Cleveland, a safety that's pretty much a linebacker in Talanoa Hufanga. That's a perfect fit for their system. Seth Williams to New Orleans, that's a perfect fit for their replacement for Emmanuel Sanders. But if we look on the board here, there's a lot of guys here. We have had a visit with Dalen Hayes for the edge rusher. I don't really like that fit right now because of how much we could
Jabba Hubbard.
We haven't. Again, I want to feel like the needs here, but I also want to kind of use like who we've had a visit with. And we've had 2 visits with running backs, which will be taken later on. I'm going to take one probably that you guys already know who I'm going to take there. I don't know if you guys looked in the Slack chat this morning, but we did have a visit with Ambry Thomas, the corner from Michigan. That's not where I'm going. There's a lot of guys here. I do like both Missouri safeties, but again, we're going to go tackle here. There's 3 on the top of the board here. And so Hainsey is not really one of the guys I want to take. It's between Walker Little and Brady Christensen. Walker Little has not really played since 2018.
Christensen's probably the pick for me.
It's going to be Christensen, and the only reason for that is health for Walker Little. We don't really know what he is at this point. He hasn't played in almost 2-3 years. Christensen was the blindside blocker for Zach Wilson this year, and if we need a left tackle, there's that. If we need a right tackle, which Christensen could be, again, Marcus Whitman, that YouTuber that we were talking about, he has Christensen over Alex Leatherwood at the tackle spot.
Wow.
That's because Leatherwood is projected as a guard by almost everyone in the draft Twitter community. So do you guys want to run through what your thoughts are so far from the first 4 picks?
I'm happy.
I think you've hit on a lot of needs. I still would put a speed edge rusher if we could get one later as another piece of the D. But I love what you've done so far.
First 4 needs being linebacker, corner, right tackle, and receiver, and we've gotten that already.
Yep.
Use us with interior defensive line, running back, safety, whichever you want to take. So we have another pick pretty quickly here. We're going to run through this fairly quick. Des Fitzpatrick, Charles Snowden.
I love Des Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry.
That makes me
angry. That hits me.
Deion Hayes of Pittsburgh might have been the pick there. But I actually like where we're at here. Sermon's a good pick here. Rodarius
Williams. Hubbard's staring you right in the face, Mason.
But we're not going to do that.
Do it. Do it.
Pull the trigger.
Do it.
We're not doing it.
Pull it.
There's a lot of corner depth here, so if you want to double up this early. Rodarius Williams is 24, almost 25. He's the brother of Greedy Williams from Cleveland. I actually like his skill set. The only problem is his age, which is the same thing with Eskridge, which we talked about earlier. Ambry Thomas is still there. I do like the idea. I want to run through some positions here. Running back, there's two guys I want. I want to see how far down the board they are. Okay, we're safe there. If you want to double up on receiver this early.
Not this early.
Not this early, no.
There's two guys.
If Fitzpatrick was there, yes, but no.
Newsome, I like. Another North Carolina guy if you want to double up there. Anthony Schwartz, you want your true speed threat opposite if you wanted like another MVS, but with more catching ability. Anthony Schwartz.
Mason out here just roasting MVS.
I'm an MVS guy.
But with more catching ability.
Well, yeah, he has some drop issues.
He does.
Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown.
I'm going to run through the other positions. Settle down.
Bobby Brown. Oh, I like Rashad Weaver too. Damn it.
I do like Weaver. I do like Golston. I
like Weaver better.
I want to wait here for some guys later on.
Oh, you could wait for Taryn Jackson.
Yeah. Linebacker, might want to go that again.
No. That's just excessive.
I do like some guys later on. Again, we've kind of had some visits with a couple more guys.
I like Graham later on.
I like some guys down later on.
Have we had a visit with Graham?
Thomas Graham? We have not yet.
Darn.
Safety.
And where's the safety I like? Okay.
There is two guys I kind of want to look at here. Or maybe there's a lot of safety depth here. So
do you know who I like?
Gillespie?
No.
I love Gillespie.
I like Blankenship.
I do like Blankenship too. If Gillespie is there in the next pick, that's probably going to be the pick. I did our scouting report on him. I don't know if you guys know this yet, but on our scouting reports, his agency retweeted it. The scouting report.
Oh, wow.
Retweeted it. So I'm hoping after this to message them, get an interview, hopefully. But I'm going to listen to you guys here, and we're going to go with Bobby Brown, another Texas A&M interior defensive lineman.
Get Kenny Clark some help.
But
Bobby.
Yeah, I love that. I know MJ is a big Bobby Brown guy. He took him in the second round of our mock draft for our offseason, so I'll let MJ take the floor here with him.
I did not take him in the second round.
Yes, you did.
I did not take Bobby Brown in the second. What kind of slander do you have on me?
Did.
What a reach by MJ.
I am not that crazy. Hold up. I'm in love with Bobby Brown. Don't get me wrong. But there is no way.
I think you took him with Cleveland. Are you looking at
Oh, are we talking about the simulation?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, yes, I did do that. In that case, yes. I thought you were talking about something I did with the Packers offseason preview.
No.
And I was like, I did not do that in the second round.
Let's not talk about that because there's no way in hell that's happening. So using What are you There's no way that was going to happen. Who did you have us taking in the first 2 rounds?
Zaven Collins, Javen Mayfield, and St. Brown.
Mayfield isn't falling that far. St. Brown maybe, but I don't like that.
I don't think Mayfield's falling that far either, no.
Yeah, no.
62? He wasn't that far off in this. No, go stop slandering me. Go find where he was in this.
He was
not.
What do you go, early second?
40. No, that's Meridian's. 41.
41, 62.
That's 20
same
picks. That's
difference.
almost a full round.
If he falls,
20 picks.
Watch him fall to 62. Y'all will eat your words. No, but I had Zaven Collins. Like, that's a good pick. I have been driving his train.
What?
I have been the conductor of the Zaven Collins. I am preaching that on the other podcast. Do not start with me, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobby Brown is a freaking brick house. He and Kenny Clark in the middle.
That Kenny Clark.
Give me that duo.
Okay, we're going to run through here to the next round. course. Minnesota's actually having a good draft here.
That's how we know it's unrealistic. Dang it,
Hubbard, there he goes.
Rodarius Williams.
Sermon to Philly, that's kind of annoying. We've had a visit with Derek Barnes going to Detroit. There goes Ambry Thomas. There goes Bledsoe.
Yes.
Hawkins, we've had a visit with him. One of our running backs that we've had a visit with.
Jamie Newman
Who is Jamie Newman?
Did you just say who is Jamie Newman?
I just said who is Jamie Newman.
Oh,
Georgia
boy.
Bulldog.
Mason, you should be happy that I have enough draft knowledge to get to like who the Packers might pick in the 7th round. You should be really happy that I'm that far this year.
Yeah, I know.
That does not happen.
Well, for me, I don't like how I wanted Rodarius Williams there.
I like the Weaver fit to the Bengals.
I do too. Sermon to Philly's kind of dumb. They have Sanders. They have Boston Scott.
Yep.
Barnes to Detroit. They just released Christian Jones. They need another linebacker. I think they could take Micah Parsons at 7 in the first round.
Thomas at 158 is a nice pick for the Vikings.
150. Yeah, I like Bledsoe.
Detroit fans will freaking riot if they take a linebacker in the first round.
I mean, when Green Bay hasn't taken a linebacker first round since 2005, so I mean,
Fair.
Jamie Newman to the Colts. I didn't like the pick of Jacob Eason last year for Indianapolis. I don't like Jamie Newman. Jamie Newman is at the Senior Bowl. He did not look good at all with his pocket presence. I barely have him as a top 10 quarterback. If I do, I don't even remember. We did that last week. Shaka Tony to Seattle. Seattle desperately needs edge rush help. I do
especially since they just got rid of Dunlap.
Yeah, Dunlap's gone.
Speaking of that, Dunlap is a edge rusher, not a defensive tackle. Whoever decided to do that on the internet, that's a horrible decision.
That was not me. That was not me. There's a reason things are supposed to happen. Yeah.
We have 2 picks in the 5th round here, and I am gonna just take him right here, right now.
I think Gillespie's a great pick here.
I did the report on Gillespie. I have him as a 3rd round prospect. Getting him here in the 5th round is perfect. He is many people don't really know who he is. There is 2, the other safety from Missouri went earlier to, I think it was Minnesota, Joshua Bledsoe. Gillespie, he shut down Kyle Pitts in the Florida game. Like 1 catch, 8 yards, 1-on-1. He open field tackled Jalen Waddle. And Jalen Waddle is going to run high 4.2s. He stuffed Najee Harris at the goal line not once but twice. So how many players in this draft can you say that about? So for me, there's a lot of depth that we need at the safety position. We might be running
much needed depth, yeah.
A lot more 3 safety sets. So for me, that was pretty easy. I do want to, before we look at the other 3 picks before we go again, I want to look at running back. So I'm getting kind of scared. You guys see who I'm probably going to want to pick there.
Yep.
Receiver, if you want to go there again, I do like some guys down here.
Okay.
We have taken our interior defensive lineman. We might need an edge. I do like a lot of these guys still here.
Yeah, we can wait on edge. We can get.
Yeah.
I think edge next.
Thomas Graham. I think we actually did have a visit with Thomas Graham.
I told you.
Yeah, we did. I just didn't see it when I looked over it. Marco Wilson's another fit. I think for us, he is the brother of Quincy Wilson, who didn't really work out in Indianapolis, but I think he could be better. There's a lot more depth here down at a cornerback. I like Brian Mills as just like a small school dart throw. I want to look at interior maybe here before we go on. Drake Jackson could be a good replacement for Corey Lindsley. But like I said earlier in our 1st or 2nd episode, that I like our interior depth a lot. So we're going to move forward with our 3 picks, and hopefully Jermar Jefferson doesn't get taken, and he does not.
Oh, no. Reed Blankenship, my guy.
We've already taken a safety, MJ.
I know, but I still like him.
So,
no Puka Williams?
Jared Patterson?
Jared Patterson's kind of A.J. Dillon-esque.
What about Puka?
I haven't really done Puka, but as I said earlier, there's a lot of this is blending in my own personal favorites and the guys that Packers have had visits with. So it's kind of what I would do in a predictive mock. So Jermar Jefferson's going to be a pick here. We talked about this a lot in our 1st episode, I think it was. But Jefferson is the TDN comp for him is Kareem Hunt.
Oh, I'd be happy with that.
I like that.
He's a good catcher out of the backfield. He has deep, long speed. He can run between the tackles. He has good vision. It's a perfect just 1-2 punch with Jefferson and Dillon. If you want to throw in James White, sure. But I think if the board hadn't fallen out to where Diami Brown and Tylan Wallace was their receiver, then Felton would have been the pick there. So we're going to move on here to the 6th round. And a lot of receivers are still on the board there. We're not taking a tight end. For some reason, tight ends are flying off the board here. There goes Patterson.
A lot of offense.
Patterson and the Falcons.
Brady White.
Puka Williams.
Puka. Oh, no. Sam Ellinger. Ooh.
We did do a Trey McKitty report. Drake Jackson.
I kind of like that.
There goes Patrick Johnson.
Jalen Moore.
Minnesota.
Interesting.
Wild Goose to Chicago. That's another good pick. DeMar Hamlin to the Chargers. We've already taken our safety, but I like that pick.
Thomas Graham.
Typical Seattle. Just stealing all of our picks. So we're back on the clock here. Again, you could go another receiver if you really wanted. And this is actually a place where I don't really know where to go.
Is Taryn Jackson still there?
He is, yeah. He is down here. What does they have him at as a scheme fit here? They'd probably have to do developmental edge rusher. You kind of need that.
Multiple front.
I'm gonna look at linebacker, even though you guys probably won't like it. I love Garrett.
Oh no.
You're gonna
KJ
want Britt. I think we can wait.
You can wait too.
I do love Garrett Wallow though. After watching the
because we have 2 picks in the 7th, right?
After watching the 2 TCU safeties, Garrett Wallow, he was the one guy that got he couldn't compete in the Senior Bowl because he tested positive for Corona. Garrett Wallow was one of the players that I wanted to watch because on film, after watching the TCU safeties, he is a perfect fit for our defense, coverage ability. If we didn't take Zaven Collins, I would want a Garrett Wallow in the later rounds. But for me, I might want to take a corner or another receiver here because there's a lot stacked up at the top here.
I like Norwood.
Grimes is interesting.
Grimes is kind of similar to what we already have. He's a 6'4", big-bodied red zone threat. I do like him, though. I almost pressed draft there accidentally. For me, it's down to 3 players here. Wait, what? Is he not taken yet? Where did Jalen Darden go?
Can you not just search?
Search his name.
I don't think. He went somewhere. I'm going to have to look at that later. But for me, it's between 3 or 4 receivers here. I think we can get another one in the 7th round maybe if you want to take a corner here. But for me, it's – actually, there's a lot of receivers here I want to take. I want to take Cade Johnson maybe. I want to take Austin Watkins, Josh Palmer, Dax Milne, and then Marquez Stevenson, which I think we can get Stevenson in the 7th round, even though a lot of people have him a lot higher than that. So I want to go to corner instead. And it's between Goen and Wilson for me here. We have not.
I like Goen better.
We haven't really had a visit with either of all the guys left. I don't really think there is the only player that we have left on our board that we've had a visit with is Britt. So if you really
is Goen or Wilson more slot inclined?
I have not. 6'2", and then Wilson might be. So I mean,
I'd go Wilson.
Yeah. Quincy Wilson didn't work out for Indianapolis, but I do like there's a lot of like family ties with this cornerback class. There's Rodarius Williams, there's J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Asante Samuel, obviously. Newsome, yeah, that too. So there's a lot. If you really want to go, it's family ties. There's a lot there. We got 2 corners now. We can get another receiver. We can double up on linebacker, maybe another offensive lineman. But I really like this so far. Are you kidding me? So that means Britt's going to go. Oh, never mind. We have a pick right here.
Yeah. Take KJ Britt while you can.
Grant Stewart too.
No.
Here's your guy down here too, MJ.
Oh, I love Patty Fisher. I don't think I would draft him, but
no. I do like either KJ Britt or Grant Stewart as another linebacker, but for MJ's sake, I'm gonna take KJ Britt here.
KJ Britt.
And we visited with him. Hello.
Yeah, Grant Stewart is gone, so right after us to Minnesota. So they're gonna take a receiver again with our last pick here. There goes Patty Fisher to Cincy. Another linebacker for them. Josh Ball to Denver is a good pick. Another one of the Ohio State linebackers. Mike Hubert.
Mustafa Johnson. I like him.
Felipe Franks.
Oh, Felipe. Ooh. Interesting.
What do we have? We have a 251, don't we?
250.
Something like that. For us,
Mason, it's at the top of the screen. Oh.
At the top of the board, K. Johnson's still there. There's a lot of guys still here that I wanted to take last round. Brady will be screaming at me to take Tamorian Terry here, but I'm not going to do it. For me,
Brady's fine. His team doesn't know how to do anything.
Stevenson right there.
We haven't taken our edge rusher yet, so.
No, we haven't.
Javonte Jackson's the pick.
Yes.
I like it.
Let's go.
There's a lot of guys that I would take at the receiver spot, like a Stevenson, Josh Palmer, Dax Milne. All those guys are draftable prospects, but in this case, there's a lot more needs that make them fall down the board. So again, we're going to look at our picks. What would you guys grade this?
I think you definitely hit on a lot of needs.
I forgot we took a wide receiver in the third round.
Yeah. I love the Zayvon Collins pick.
I would be very happy with that.
Tyson Campbell at 62 is great value.
That went exactly the way I wanted it to go, and I didn't expect Diami Brown or Wallace to be there in the third round. I thought I was going to be taking Felton there, but I think that went.
I thought you didn't like Felton.
I do like Felton. He's probably going to end up as one of my top 5 running backs if he really is. If you want to put him at a running back, if you want to throw him at receiver, you could use him in a lot of ways that the Chargers use Austin Eckler or Christian McCaffrey, use him out of the slot. So, getting that in the third round is a good idea. But getting Brown and then still getting Jefferson is probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lazard and MVS in that way. The only picks that I'm kind of just about is maybe I kind of was upset that Dalen Hayes went to Minnesota. I think it was right after one of our picks. That was probably one of the picks there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take an edge rusher, but maybe a bit earlier than we did.
A little bit earlier, yeah.
KJ Britt, that was kind of just an MJ pick for his sake.
Listen, we visited with the man.
Yeah.
He's very good. He fits your type of linebacker that you want.
Of all these guys, there are So we visited with Collins, we visited with Jefferson, we visited with KJ Britt. So that's 3. And then the rest are pretty much best available by the positions we need.
Yeah.
So, if we really want to run through some of the guys that we missed on that we visited, Ambry Thomas, that's kind of one that, and Thomas Graham, those are probably the 2 biggest ones that I'm kind of missed out on. Aleem McNeil, in the third round, I don't really want to take an interior defensive lineman that early. I'd rather take 1 4th, 5th round instead.
Yeah.
In the case that Rondale Moore is still there in the second round, then we could have a conversation about that. But in this case,
I like that.
Yeah. And
that would be a good pick.
And then we could talk about St. Juice in the third round and all that. But for me, this was probably one of the best case scenarios for a live mock. I didn't really have to do much yelling, so that'll be better than draft day.
Always good.
I want to give you I did a mock the other day, and I don't know if I did this right.
Okay.
Wait, so how many picks do we have here to see if 10? Okay. So my 10 picks, and this must have been off. I don't know how it freaking worked, but my 10 picks were Zayvon Collins, Rondale Moore, James Hudson, Rodarius Williams, Jalen Twyman, Jamar Jefferson, Thomas Graham, Des Fitzpatrick, KJ Britt, and Blankenship.
I like all those guys. We talked about all those guys in here. So, again, at that first round spot, if there is a way to trade down and somehow still get Zayvon Collins, I'd do it because at 29 you can pick up an extra 4th. and just drop down 5 or 6 spots. So
yeah,
if there's a way we can do it. Or maybe if Zaven Collins is gone, you take a corner, but then you risk the all those linebackers being gone like they were after our first round pick.
I think if you don't take a no, go ahead, Chris.
Hard for me to picture Collins being there at 29.
Yeah. For
it just seems like it's a long way for him to fall.
Yeah. But with the linebacker, not as much of a need. But after seeing the guys that Tampa Bay have, it's just you want one of those guys. They have 2 of them. Well, they might only have 1 now with David being a free agent. But there's guys like Parsons is so similar to – Parsons is the one that's probably going to fall out of the 3. His personality concerns, which there's been some rumblings about that with Zaven Collins, which, I mean – Packers don't usually take character concerns, but in this case, Zaven Collins is just too good of a player to pass up. Like I said, he's number 5 right now. So getting him at 29 is a steal. Tyson Campbell, a lot of people have him as an early second. Diami Brown, like for here, all these picks were better value than what we got him at. So especially a Jefferson and a Gillespie. So for me, I love this draft, getting Christensen in the 4th round and not – almost missing on a tackle. We could have taken one of 2 there with Walker Little still there. So for me, it was probably the best case scenario. I can't wait to write this up for our site. Hopefully Mike is happy with this. He probably wanted me to swear a little bit more, but we'll get that live on draft night on day 2, hopefully.
There you go.
There we go. Here on day 1 because that might end very bad. So
very bad.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Oh, boys, good stuff. Hit on a lot of needs.
All right, so we'll see you guys next week for our divisional roundup before free agency kicks off. I think that's next Monday. I think free agency starts the next day or a day later. So we'll be talking about the Lions, Chicago Bears, and then Minnesota Vikings in contrast to all our needs and what they should look forward to be doing in free agency.
For sure. And if any of you have comments on what we did in the draft, I know we have some very opinionated people who watch the show. So don't be afraid to hop into that comment section and let us know.
Yeah.
And let us know if Chris's audio sounded better too. It sounds good to us, but yeah. Okay. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you later.